Next up, we have Jenny Lagervall. Jenny comes to EDA with a background in psychology, research, and data, using her understanding of people to create practical and thoughtful solutions. She combines her analytical skills with a user-focused approach to her work, and Jenny's project is called Gratitude. Jenny, floor is all yours.
All right. Hello, everyone, and thank you for being here today. My name is Jenny, and I created Gratitude. It's an app designed to make grant tracking easier and more efficient. After speaking with a few grant professionals, they expressed that there's a need for a tool that's specifically designed for tracking grants, and that's why I created Gratitude. This app intends to move grant tracking out of spreadsheets to a specialized tool that is easy to share with both stakeholders and team members. So everyone involved in the grant and who might be interested in all of the details related to it. So before I jump into the demo, let me briefly explain a little bit about what grants are and why they're important. Grants are funds provided by organizations for initiatives that benefit the public, such as research and community programs. And grant funding generally comes with strict guidelines for how funds can be used. And grant recipients are required to track and report fund usage and report back on how progress goals are progressing. When an organization receives several grants, it can become challenging to keep track of all of the important reporting deadlines and tracking fund usage. Also, various team members need access to information, making a centralized and organized tracking crucial. And that's where Gratitude comes in. Gratitude simplifies managing multiple grants by offering several features. For instance, we have the ability to easily add or update grants and the ability to create logs that track spending and grant progress in real time. So let's hop on over to the demo. And all right, so let's walk through Gratitude as if I was a grant professional managing my portfolio of grants. First, I will log into the app to give me access to all of my ongoing grant projects. And I go, and this takes us back to the home page. Once I log in, I can navigate over to the active grant page where I can see a list of all of my current active grants. So let's say I have an update to make for a specific grant. So I will go ahead and click on this first one, the Climate Change Action Fund. And I can see all the essential grant details, such as the grant lead and the grant purpose. Next, I want to check on the grant's important deadlines. So I will go ahead and click over to the Important Dates tab. Here I can see all of the related dates that are important to grant reporting. It looks like I have received information that I need to update this grant, and I just go ahead and click Edit, and I can make my adjustments. In this case, it looks like the grant lead has changed and is now me. So I just update the information where I need to, and I click Update Grant. And now I'm taken back to the information page, the detail page, where I can see all of my updated information. Another key task for managing grants is keeping track of spending. And I have a new expenditure that I need to log, so I'm going to head over to the Logs and Finances page. This is important to keep financials up to date, and I can also remove any logs if I should need to in the future. Let's go ahead and create a log. So I have an expenditure today, and if it's a log with an expenditure type, you will see that I can add a um, the amount of money that I have spent and add a little bit of details about the expenditure. I add log, and you'll see here that it's immediately updated here on the log page. It tells you a little bit about the user and when this log was created. And should I be fortunate enough to have received a new grant, I will probably want to add a grant to my current list. And here you see this wonderful form where I can input any necessary information, and the grant will be automatically updated to the grant list that we started with. Additionally, as a grant administrator, when funds for a grant have been fully exhausted or the grant has reached its conclusion, I can archive the grant as well, should I need to. And this action will take the grant off of the grant list, but it will not remove any of the important information. Oftentimes grants that have been exhausted, we still want to keep that data. So if I click archive for our climate action fund, you will see it has been added to the archive grants list down here at the bottom. And we can no longer see it here on our active grant list page. And that's how Gratitude simplifies grant tracking and management from start to finish. Thank you.
Great job. Thank you, Jenny. So Jenny, what was a challenge that you overcame? Tell us a little bit about that process.
I think that the biggest challenge that I had to overcome was how many little details that I wanted to add to make this a functioning app. For instance, I would have really liked if I had the time to add a really quick, like a quick ad for the logs on the homepage, so that anyone logs in and just needs to log a quick expenditures can just pop on there and do it really fast. But I think in general, there's just so many more details that I wanted to add. And I think that's really hard. It's hard to pick through that.
Great. What would you have liked to know when you started?
Oh boy, that's a really good question. I feel like I was pretty well prepared for this project. I think having a chance to talk to those grant professionals beforehand really set me up for success when it came to creating this grant. So I don't think I have anything that I kind of wish that I had known before I started.
Oh, that's great. Jaday's got a question. Jaday says, "Nice work, Jenny. Do you see this as a possible um, future app for nonprofits to use in the real world? How ready is it?"
I would absolutely love that. And I think it's more or less ready to go right now. It's just about adding and removing some of the information that's there. In the future, I'd also really like to expand it to include a feature or maybe a separate page where you can work on grants that you're currently in the process of trying to get, and adding statuses to the grant that kind of shows the different kind of where the process, the grant is in this process, like how far you've gotten, if you've received it, if you've expended those funds. Yeah, I just really like to add a status there, but I think it's ready to go.
Great. And final question from Adam. Adam says, "Way to go, Jenny. This is looking great. What's something that you were most proud of?"
Ooh, I think that that page, that first page where it shows you that list of grants, it also has a tracking bar or a progress bar, sorry, that lets you know how much of the funds that have already been expended, and that is automatically updated when you add a new log with an expenditure. And I just think that's a really fun feature, and it gives kind of a fun visual for anyone that might want to just get a really quick overview of where the grant is at.
Great. Thanks, Jenny.